Zoltan's going to Taco Bell. I was just there.
Should we cancel the show?
No. Naomi is a big fan of the Mexican pizza.
Yeah.
And she was like, can you get me a Mexican pizza? I was like, sure. On their door of Taco Bell, there is a sign that says, we did not anticipate you guys loving the Mexican pizza so much. We are sold out.
Oh, no.
And it's not just like a handwritten sign. This is corporate signage.
Right.
So this is like probably all over the place.
Yeah. Just everyone wants that
Kinda crazy.
pizza.
Yeah. Hey, Don. He's Zoltan.
Hello. I've never had the Mexican pizza, you know?
And you never will. They're not making it again.
Good.
It's not good. Anything from Taco Bell, to be honest. Not that good.
No, Zoltan, you didn't miss anything.
Hey, Alex.
See a Star Dragon. Hello.
Hello.
Thanks for the follow 29 minutes ago.
You keeping tabs on people?
Yeah.
Yep.
Keep tabs.
Christian, is that the monster?
If there's a little emote going nuts,
him?
that would,
Yeah, that's him.
Man. Call the lawyers.
that would be my red monster.
Love it. Hey, Alex, Sleeper Monster. Hello.
Hey, guys. Oh, look at that.
Technically,
oh my gosh.
Technically, it's two red monsters.
Oh.
There's a Heckles and a Jekylls.
Eccles
My
and Jekylls.
gosh.
I'm starting to think death is coming.
Who told you?
I think it is. I think it is. Hey, Roscoe. Hello? Hey,
Hello.
Tiffany.
Baked Potifa.
I heard Baked Tifa on a hoodie stream today. Hey, Turkey Day, thank you.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Oh, okay. Come on.
Hi, Athena.
Just started.
I forgot that I'm gonna have to deal with that.
Welcome to my life. Ugh. Podcast recently deceased. Hello.
Hello.
They say, "What's up, Christian?"
Yeah, they do a horror podcast on Twitch.
There's two
Whoa.
of us?
Yep.
What? Alright, we're gonna have
I
to
swear
fight
it.
him, Ben. We're gonna have to fight him.
All right. Take him out back and do a little fisticuffs.
Yeah.
Hey, zombie. Good one. Hello. And welcome to Control Death episode. What is it, Gabe? What episode is this?
I don't know.
Something.
100
Episode something.
100 and something.
100 and something. I'm Ben Monster. That's
114.
114. I'm Ben Monster. That's Gabe right there.
Hi.
And who do we have in the TV? Is that Christian? Christian, is that you?
Hi. I'm stuck in a TV.
Oh. Been there.
Kristen Stella is here. Muted star. Welcome to the show.
I'm trying to.
It's trying to break out. Don't break out.
I could just do this.
Don't.
Help me. Help me, please.
How's it going? What's going on?
How are you doing, sir?
Nothing. Nothing's going on.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Today. Oh, Roscoe's here.
Oh.
Hello, Roscoe.
Hey, Roscoe.
And Roscoe's here. Hello, Roscoe. What did you have for dinner? You told us before the show.
Mhm.
Oh,
It sounded delicious. Please tell the people out there what you have for dinner.
I made a fake stroganoff, egg noodles,
Mhm.
sour cream, mushrooms,
Mhm.
beef stock, and then a pork tenderloin that I roasted.
Wow.
Sounds delicious.
Peas.
Wow.
Also peas. Peas.
Peed in it.
Peas.
The illusion of a vegetable.
Thanks, Effie.
Hey, thank you. It sounds delicious. I do not eat meat, but guess what? I would eat that. Oh no, bees!
Watch out, Christian. Oh, you're safe. You're in the TV.
I'm safe in a TV.
It's fine. Everything's fine. Christian, can you tell the people out there all about yourself?
Sure. Well, I'm a food photographer for a living.
Food photographer.
I guess I also make
Oh boy.
movies, huh?
Lots going on.
Oh.
They're gonna get it out of their system. Let them
Welcome to the show.
get it out of their system, everybody. Oh, watch out. There's Belial.
It's basket case.
Jesus Christ.
It's everywhere. It's everywhere.
You know, I almost shot a documentary for Henenlotter. Almost.
Really?
That one's new.
That one's a new one.
Film festival in Scotland,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
and Frank Henenlotter was like, "You live in Florida?" I'm like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Well, I loved your movie.
Cool.
What do you think about shooting something for me in Florida?" And I was like, "Hell yeah!" 2 years go by, and he just emails me 2 years later, and he's like, "Hey, are you still available?" I was like, "Yeah, for the director of Basket Case, I'm still available."
100%.
Oh yeah.
And then I don't know whatever happened after that. And he wrote me and he said, "Hey, I just want you to know I didn't forget about you. It's just that the guy can't go back to Florida because he'll probably get arrested because it was the documentary he made on the comic book artist who was arrested for lewd drawings."
Whoa.
Huh.
Which, I'll be fair, I don't know anything about the story. So I'm thinking maybe I dodged a bullet because he must have had some really bad drawings if he got arrested for it.
For drawings, yeah, that's I mean,
nobody should be arrested. nobody's to be arrested for drawings. However,
It's true.
man, they must have been real bad.
I kind of want to see them now.
Extremely.
Curious. I wish someone would make a documentary about it.
It's out. Yeah, it's out somewhere. I was like, oh man, I was supposed to shoot that. But yeah, I've made some horror movies. I kind of do everything in horror movies. I shoot, I direct, I edit, I've done sound, kind of everything. In The Battery was our first real movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then we made a comedy called Tex Montana Will Survive. And then we made a monster romance called After Midnight.
Hell yeah, you did.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, we gave everyone homework to watch The Battery and or After Midnight. And Ben, you had seen After Midnight, correct?
I did.
I had not, and I don't think most of us had seen The Battery except Blockhead. Blockhead had seen The Battery already.
Yes, Blockhead was the one who suggested After Midnight to me and my wife. We do a podcast, and we were looking for movies to watch, and he saw it on Shudder, I believe, and he was like, "Watch this," and we watched it, and we absolutely loved it. And and then
hold on, you and your wife have another podcast?
Yeah, we haven't done it in a while, but yes, we do. We do have a podcast, just an audio podcast. And we watch movies and we do all that stuff. Hi, Cherry.
What's it called and where can you find it, Ben?
I don't even remember. Oh no, it's called Yeah, we watched. Yeah, we watched that. We definitely watched it. I don't remember what episode we did that on, but it's up there. It's called "See You Next Tuesdays" with Ben Monster and Naomi Monster.
I feel like I probably heard it.
Oh,
I googled.
You've heard it?
I Google the names of my movies all the time. I think I have a Google alert, and then I will listen to any podcast, and usually I leave a comment, and they go, "Oh shit, the teacher saw us." They're like, "Oh no, what did I say wrong?" Usually, the one thing they said wrong is they just never mentioned my name.
No,
they'll be like, "After Midnight is so great. Jeremy Gardner is such a good director," and they don't
mention you.
Yeah, I get that all the time. People say, "Oh, Tuesdays with Ben Monster and ControlAltDeath. Ben Monster is so good," and I'm like, "What about Gabe Monster?"
Yeah, I'm the best. I'm the best.
Look at him.
Yeah, because my filmmaking partner, Jeremy Gardner, he directed The Battery, and I did everything else for The Battery. He also wrote it,
and
he did those two things, and starred in it,
and he showed his dick.
Yeah.
Did you show your dick in any of your movies? Did you show your dick?
Oh,
got you there.
No,
show
but my
your dick,
wife,
and then we'll know. Then everyone.
My wife did some questionable things in The Battery.
It's true.
But when we went to do the press photos for After Midnight, we did the Almost Famous thing, where we had Jeremy in the foreground, and then I stood all the way in the background, completely out of focus for our director photos.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I love it.
And then, of course, it's like 75% of reviews only talk about him.
Yeah.
But he is on screen.
He showed his dick, so
that's what you got to do, Christian.
I think that After Midnight would have been bigger if he had done it. He'd shown his dick in that too.
Yeah,
I think that's the lucky charm.
I think the butt should have been. He should have saved the butt for After Midnight.
Yeah, but
because it's
there's a butt. There's a butt in our second movie, Tex Montana.
Oh, I gotta watch that one. I gotta add that to the list.
That one's weird.
You, Jeremy, you sent you sent us
Christian.
some. Oh, sorry, I was thinking about.
You just called him Jeremy.
I was thinking about that dick. Oh, hey, thanks. It's our mortal enemies. I'm kidding. I don't know.
But I love. By the way, I think they might be one of the ones that never mentioned my name in the whole review.
Oh, really? Oh, you guys.
And then I was like, "Hey guys, you guys have a thing on Twitch?" I was like, "Hey, I'm on Twitch." They might have been one of them.
Oh, you guys. See, we right off the bat, maybe I called you Jeremy, but at least I'm giving a name. You know what I mean?
It's true.
If they didn't even say your name,
I caught it.
Christian. I watched
Stella.
Christian. I watched a little bit of your. I didn't get to finish it, but I was watching the behind the scenes of both. I did watch all of the behind the scenes for After Midnight, and then I got like, I don't know, a quarter way through the battery, because the battery's long. It's almost the length of the movie itself, you know?
It's a full movie. It's a 90-minute behind
It's
the
awesome.
scenes.
I love it. You got started very early doing filmmaking, right? Like you as a kid, you were running around filming stuff. At what point did that start for you?
I was probably 12. Jeremy would have been 15. So it was like we were all of my friends are all 15. And so they're all 3 years older than me. And we just started making crappy horror movies, really bad horror movies. We made a parody of Psycho where the killer was a Furby.
Mm-hmm.
And then we made a parody of Jaws where the killer was a Pikachu stuffed animal.
Yep.
And
Awesome.
we started getting into film festivals with these really shitty, like we were shooting on the full VHS tape.
Nice.
Hell yeah, you were. Hell
Love
yeah.
that.
And then we like upgraded to like 8mm tape or whatever that was called, Super 8 tape. And then we got to like mini DV. But we would go to film festivals. There was one film festival that we would go to in South Dakota when we were all, I was like 14 and we all dropped out of school, which, like if you
Smart.
don't do that, kids, but we all dropped out of school.
Do it.
And we would make these
tools.
dumb movies. And we became friends with a lot of other filmmakers, which it's weird now because they're all YouTubers. And
Really?
we're friends with Red Letter Media.
Oh, okay.
The Star Wars review guys.
Yeah.
They were in our movies. We were in their movies. And their movies were exactly what they're doing now. Minus the review parts. It would be like Mr. Plinkett, which is the character that Rich Evans on their show plays, would be like 40 minutes of him falling over and breaking things in their like grandmother's house and going, ow, for 40 minutes straight.
That's the best movie I've ever seen right there. Sounds
also
awesome.
The Fine Brothers. I don't know. The Fine Brothers do like kids react. They do like kids react to.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay.
Those guys are like millionaires. The Fine Brothers.
Really?
I used to read his scripts and give him notes on his scripts, and he would give me notes on my scripts, and I'm like, shit, why did we try to make movies? Like, they all gave up their dream really early and moved to YouTube. But we all became waiters and servers and bartenders, and then didn't make a movie for 10 years before The Battery. And I got into food photography, so I had a camera for food photography.
That's awesome. What kind of camera?
It was a 5D.
Nice.
The first 5D that did video was the 5D2.
Mm-hmm.
I still use a 5D. I use the 5D4 for food photography today. But I would tell Jeremy, I'm like, hey, this camera, it shoots some pretty good video. And that's when he was like, well, let's film a zombie movie.
Hell yeah. Nice. As any friend should. Are these
but I never shot our old movies.
That was just more like whoever had the camera.
Yeah, it was my sister would shoot. And like I didn't do audio. I didn't do anything tech at all up until The Battery. And then I did all the tech.
All of it.
And it took a year of post-production because I was like, how do you mix sound? I don't know. Let's find out.
Right. You film it and then you figure it out later.
That's the best way to learn.
Are any of these the Psycho movies and the Killer Pikachu, are any of these available online for us to enjoy?
I don't think so. I don't think
I think you should put them online because that's the sound of from the little clips I saw that you put in the little documentary. It looks amazing, especially the plastic bag one.
No, okay, no, the bags. I should say the bags. I skipped over that part. Is a 90-minute drama about evil killer plastic bags.
Absolutely, it is.
Holy cow!
It is. It is exactly what Killer Sofa is, which is a movie that's taking an absurd premise seriously.
That's awesome.
Except that we really like tried to play off of that. We were very tongue in cheek about it. And I still question Killer Sofa fully, but we were 15 though, and it's like really crappy quality. I think that the final file was like 360 pixels.
Oh my god,
or something. You know, like that's the one that got rendered out because we would have to save for months to buy an 80 gigabyte hard drive. And then we made another movie called The Robert Cake that I wrote, which was another 90-minute movie about a guy who eats his friend's ashes in a cake. And then there's voodoo. There's voodoo involved, which is again Killer Sofa.
Right.
Yeah.
And that movie's funny, but I would not put that online now because I think that it's got some questionable jokes in it because I wrote it when I was 14.
Of course.
There
of
you
course.
go.
I love the idea of a goofy topic, but you attack it in a serious way.
Play it deadpan, yeah.
I used to do a little bit of filmmaking just as like a hobby, as a fun thing with my friend and I, and we did one short, like a 2-minute, 3-minute short called Really Sharp Cheese, and it's about cheese that was really sharp.
That one.
I cut the guy's hands up, but we did it like it was serious, like a real like drama, and it was really short and it was really stupid, but I was just like, hey, I was literally at the store and it said sharp cheese on the bag, and I'm like, what if it said really sharp cheese and it was like knives? And that was it, you know?
But you know what? The thing about short films especially is they better be stupid and fun.
Yep.
Because there is nothing worse than going to like a horror film festival and watching an hour and a half of shorts that all are trying to be like mini drama or horror movies or whatever. And it's like, just you've got 5 minutes to get my attention. You've got to be over the top and stupid and all of that.
Right.
Yeah. There's no character development in a short. So it's just be as crazy as you can be.
You got to grab them right away. Right away. Thank you, Gene.
Yeah.
Also, hi, Gene.
Gene. You mentioned food photography. I need to ask this question. What is the best food to photograph? And why?
God. The best food to photograph. Oh man. I mean, I hate so many foods because I know the problem in photographing them. I was going to say, you know, seafood tends to look really pretty.
Thank you.
I feel like seafood is easy to photograph. It's easy to make seafood look good. Yeah. Even though I don't personally eat seafood.
Oh, thank you. It's easy to make it look good, but nothing can make it taste good. You know what I mean?
I hate it.
Let's get out of town.
Fuck seafood.
I hate you.
Don't eat anything out of the ocean. Ocean's evil.
Nope, me neither.
Ocean,
but I photograph it all the time. Because there's other things like steak and so on that like when you cut a steak, you got about 3 minutes to photograph a steak after you cut it. Before it starts to turn like that kind of red of like a dried out looking red. I don't know.
Valley Dweller asks, does Christian do any of that wacky motion controlled food flinging? That's a great question. I see that on
motion
TikTok
controlled food. What?
Like when you have
what is this?
So it's like, let's say you want to shoot like it's food flying up in the air and there's like fire in the background. So you have a machine throw it and then you have the camera like zoom through it. And it's like all this crazy machinery just to get stuff.
No, I don't mess around with like that kind of stuff. Is like that's too much work.
So much work.
Because I'm a ghostwriter. I'm a ghostwriter and a cookbook designer and a food photographer. So when I'm going to photograph something, I'm also testing a recipe that I wrote, and I have to make sure the food works and all this other stuff. I like, and then I don't get paid enough to do something like that. That sounds like, to me, that sounds like it would be a week just to get one photograph.
Yeah.
And then you go, well, that was cool. Look, here's the thing. I feel like you could figure out how to Photoshop it quicker than actually doing it for real.
Probably. Yeah.
I feel like the videos, I always see that on TikTok or Instagram. It's, you see the video and then it's like this really beautiful slow motion can, and then the splash, and then you see the real video. And it's a 2-second little thing, you know, because it's real time, but in slow motion it looks amazing. Right. So it's always a little silly.
And 90% of that stuff that's on TikTok, like recipes and stuff that's on TikTok, 90% of that stuff is fake. Completely. I mean, this stuff doesn't even work. Those recipes don't work. There's like entire debunking videos on YouTube that I'm obsessed with watching about how they're like, yeah, no, you do this and you're gonna burn your face off. Don't cook an egg in the microwave, folks. It will explode on your face.
You heard it here first. TikTok, like, I love TikTok, but man, TikTok is weird as shit. There's a couple who does like weird cooking videos, and I still don't know if they're like meant to be serious or they're meant to be like this is a joke or satire or something. But it's like, and I know
because they're over the top.
Yeah, but there's the sofa.
Oh God, no.
My example is gonna 100% make it seem like it's a joke, but they made like nacho cheese in a toilet.
But
I'm gonna say that's a joke, Gabe.
Probably.
I'm gonna say that's a joke
about it, probably. But there's also ones where it's like they make shit and then they just keep adding stuff. They keep just adding,
it keeps going and going,
and then it's like, and then they eat it and it's like, so good, and it's like, I don't know, guys, I don't know.
It's like there's a streamer on Twitch that I really love, named Nurse Huckleberry. She's a food streamer, and the other day I watched her a couple times. My wife had never watched her, and then she came on, and I was like, "Oh, you should watch this. This is really great." And I rated her, and we were watching her, and she was making a hot dog topped with, it was a baked potato topped with a full hot dog, topped with fish and chips, topped with pickles, and they were all coming off on sticks.
Ugh.
And I was like,
sticks.
I had to tell my wife, I was like, that's not really what she normally does. It was like, this was an over the top thing on purpose. And I was like, no, she actually does make real food sometimes. I was like, no, because I really love her. I was like, no, yeah, I get that this is too much.
Yeah, that sounds like a barf city.
Zoltan redeemed a would you rather. Christian, would you rather be completely alone with nobody in the vicinity for 1 year, or never be alone for even 1 minute for a year?
Oh, definitely never be alone for even 1 minute. Because my wife and I, we've been together 18 years, and we've always worked together. So I haven't been alone in 18 years.
So you already got this. You already got this done 18 times over.
That's easy.
Done and done.
What if it was the guy from Greasy Strangler?
I had to live with him. I think his name was Michael Richards, but not that Michael Richards.
Of course his name is Michael Richards.
But then he has a second name. He has like a stage name that's a different name. And I'm very confused by it. But yeah, no, if it was him, then I would rather be alone.
Tia Star Dragon says, what food is the hardest to photograph? Did we talk about that one already?
The hardest thing to photograph is anything that melts, right? Or you know what? I'm gonna say easier. Soup. Soup sucks.
Really?
Like a clear soup.
Oh.
Yeah, like if it's got like chicken noodle, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you, like, everything sinks. But I have heard just recently that if I take the broth and I put several spoons of salt into the broth, that will make the water more buoyant and ingredients should
so things float. Oh wow.
And I've never I have not been able to test that because I've been doing air fryer recipes for the last 2 years, and I can't escape air fryer recipes. So I don't necessarily make soup anymore.
I just got an air fryer, and I love it.
Garbage.
What? Really?
Oh no!
What brand is it?
A Ninja air fryer.
Actually, no. I like the Ninja. I have a Ninja air fryer as well, but I've been working for Philips.
Oh.
I have worked for Ninja. For Ninja.
Yeah.
But yeah, is it a sheet pan air fryer?
It's like one of the it's got a drawer and you put it in.
But it's not a whole basket, right?
No, it is a basket. It's a bad one. We got the bad one.
Doesn't have a sheet pan.
No, it's got a little grill thing that you can put on top, but yeah.
Now the sheet pan's where it's at, because you can cook a whole DiGiorno pizza on that thing. On mine.
Wow, that's a big one. No, this one's small.
That's a big sheet.
But on top of that, it fits a whole pizza, but then the whole unit is like on a hinge, and it can flip up and lay against the wall so that your whole counter is back.
Wow. Okay. I need to get that.
And you can also cook. If you were doing chicken wings, you could cook like 48 chicken wings on one sheet.
Wow. That's crazy.
It's kind of the best broiler toaster oven. It cooks 9 pieces of toast.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah, use a coupon code MutedStar at checkout. I get 20.
Zombie wants to know, can you cook a boboli on it? You can cook a boboli on anything,
a boboli.
Garbage can.
A boboli pizza.
A boboli? Yeah, I'm sure it's like the same. By the way, I like how I'm like boboli gross. DiGiorno's gross.
Hey, DiGiorno is not that gross all the time.
It's pretty gross.
Can I give you a DiGiorno tip?
Yeah.
Or any frozen pizza that's DiGiorno's like super thick, right? It's almost cake.
With 2 C's.
Yes.
What you got to do is in the last 5 minutes that you're cooking it, take it out, put it on a pizza pan, and get some olive oil and put some salt, garlic powder in the olive oil. I also put MSG in it. Salt, garlic powder, MSG powder, and then brush it over the whole crust, and then put it back in the oven for the last 5 minutes, and you'll have like a garlic crust.
Interesting.
Wow.
It fixes any frozen pizza.
I just got Paul Newman's pizza. They do frozen pizza, and they have a margarita pizza. Delicious. Stone fired margarita pizza.
I get his Sicilian one. I like it when it's on sale.
Yeah. This was on sale. That's why I got it.
Yeah, those things are like $10 each when they're not on sale.
Yeah.
And I was like, have you seen Domino's? It's $5.99 for a real pizza at Domino's, and you're going to charge $10 for a frozen pizza?
I've recently got into Domino's, and man, oh man, I've been missing out.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Domino's has a weird aftertaste.
It does have a weird aftertaste.
I swear to God, Domino's tastes like mustard to me.
It's not good, but it's fine. You know,
their deep dish is good.
Their Parmesan, the little Parmesan bread pieces. Oh man, I love those. Those are good.
Never had it.
Also, their thin crust is really good. Their thin crust is actually the best thing to make at Domino's. It's just not very filling. You can eat a whole one.
Yeah. Now that you're a food photographer, so when you're out in the wild and you see pictures of food, do you know all the tricks? Like, oh, they did this using this, or this is shiny, so they did this. You see through all the bullshit, and you're like, I know what they did for that picture. Yeah,
like last week I had to do. I was hired to do videos of TV dinners.
Okay,
and it was the worst job I've ever taken in my life because
Kid Cuisine.
No, it was for a diet company, so they were diet TV dinners, mail order ones. Mail order diet TV dinners. And it was only after I was hired that they were like, by the way, we want you to shoot it on an iPhone.
What?
So I had to shoot iPhone videos of TV dinners.
Just to say shot on iPhone or something stupid like that?
I guess. And it's like, why? Why did I? And you can't Photoshop it either because it's a video.
Right.
So it was the worst.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rod.
And then after I took it, they go, oh, by the way, we wanted you because they already have videos and they're too slick because they were shot on the Alexa. They were like, yeah, they're too slick because they were shot on the Alexa. And I watched the videos and I go, oh my God, this looks like something out of an Olive Garden commercial. Which
it was too good.
It's like, when I say that, I mean it's been styled beyond belief to the edge of death. This is not a real food in any way.
Huh.
And it looked gorgeous. It was perfect. It looked nothing like a TV dinner. And then I open up my TV dinner that I have and I go, it looks like frozen slop.
Right. As they
and
all
I go,
do.
why did I take this job? Why did I take this job?
I don't understand.
And I had to shoot 4 of them.
I don't understand the thought process of like, make it literally, is it like make it look shitty because it's on an iPhone and it's like you can't do anything really with it?
Yeah, I don't get it, other than the client was like, I've been shooting food at dinner on my iPhone and it always looks so good. And I'm like, so you just like what you're shooting, so you want me to do it? And I'm like, but it made my life a living hell.
You know,
like the iPhone was constantly changing its white balance and stuff, and it was making my life a living hell.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is not really what I want to be doing this on. And then I had to make the food smoke, and I'm like, I'm a photographer, not. I guess I'm also a cinematographer of movies. So I was like, I don't normally make food videos. And they were like, yeah, we want to see a lot of steam. And I'm like, how do you make? And also they wanted 20 minutes of video per dish.
Jesus.
Whoa.
So I'm like, how am I going to make? I don't know.
This is for like
Instagram ads, I think.
Oh yeah, I guess. Wow, that's weird.
How do you make a TV dinner steam for 20 minutes straight? I will tell you how.
Smoke machine.
I was looking into a smoke machine, but by the way, I got paid I got paid $500 to shoot 4 videos that I had to style all the food, and I had to shoot 20 minutes of each one. It took me 3 days.
Crazy.
I had a big old block of dry ice.
Awesome.
And a meat mallet, and I was smashing dry ice and dumping dry ice on the food. And dry ice steams like all hell when you don't want it to steam, and then when you want it to, it's like, nah, I'm just gonna sit here.
Yep.
By the end of shooting, the food I was videoing was in a pool of melted water. It was, oh man, it was a total nightmare. But also, it was a proof of concept, and I'm to get the real gig, and I'm probably gonna get the real gig and have to do like 50 more.
Oh man.
I'm charging them a lot more though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You should.
Gene Hunter says it's the Snyder cut of TV dinners. It's true. 4 hours long.
I've seen the commercials they made. The commercials are really good. They used 3 seconds of each video I shot.
Of course.
Wow.
So it's just like, and I'm gonna have to. That's what if I do the full job, I'm gonna say, guys, what do you really want me to focus on? Because this food doesn't last that long.
Yeah.
So, especially like Alfredo.
Fifi says these are the kind of BS experiences that made me quit film production.
I hate film production. I hate it. I love having I love like finishing a movie. But the actual on-set stuff is always
it's the worst. I have not done anything close to what you've done. Like everything I've done has been really small, just me and some friends and some local people. But like even that at such a small level, it's so fucking stressful and there's so much anxiety. And like my friend and I would always try to just do something that it can just literally be the two of us. Like I'll be you. I'll film everything. Valley Dweller, thank you. I love you.
Thank you, Riley.
I'll film everything, edit everything, and he'll be on camera, and that's it. And like when you start incorporating other people, it's just like it's so fucking stressful. And I hate it.
I mean, if you
But
look
I
at the
love it at the
battery,
same time, you know.
the battery was made by 5 or 6 people. It's the same thing, 2 of which are on camera.
Right.
2 people behind the camera were me and my wife. And she's the one who shot the documentary and also basically was the only person helping me.
Oh boy.
And her name is Potato. But yeah, and then we had a sound guy, and then we had like one person doing makeup on any day that there was a zombie. And which, by the way, we had some really good fucking makeup in the battery, but the camera just didn't shoot it.
No.
Oh, that sucks.
Like,
The original 5D is like 650p. It's called 1080p, but it is really blurry.
Yeah.
So it just didn't look good. We needed to like, and we were probably also stupid in the fact that we were saying, make it more realistic. Like that's too over the top. And so we had them tone it down. And then the camera toned it down.
Right.
And in the end, it looks like
that
somebody
stinks.
just like rubbed a little dirt on their face or something. And it's like, no, we had some cool makeup.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it worked. I think it absolutely worked.
Yeah, it did.
I really did enjoy it. Tia Star Dragon a long time ago asks, oh, there, they asked it again. What is your favorite horror movie of all the horror movies in the world?
Hi, Tia, by the way. Tia's from our community.
Welcome.
You're welcome.
Welcome.
My favorite horror movie is probably Army of Darkness.
Oh, good answer.
Either that or Child's Play.
Good.
I like horror comedies.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
You know, Beetlejuice.
Yes, Ben.
Beetlejuice is good. We have some speed round questions.
We do.
For Christian. Are you up for that? Are you up for some speed round questions?
All right. So you gotta answer them quick. No thinking, unless you need to think. That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take your time.
But
fast.
take no time. All right. Ready? Here we go. What celebrity would you like to be? There you go. There you go. What celebrity would you like to be stuck in a car with during a zombie invasion?
Oh, I'm going to go Henry Zabrowski that's in After Midnight.
Perfect. Love it.
It's one of the funniest people ever.
That's the dude from Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and the last podcast on the left.
Right.
Drinks all the beer from the beer mat.
Yeah. If not, then I'll go. If it has to be someone I don't know, maybe Bill Hader.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's a good one.
Because I feel like he could also kill some zombies as seen in Barry.
When we were coming up with names for ControlAltDeath for this very podcast, last podcast on the left was like, oh, they got podcast in the title, but like it's a horror movie. So I remember Ben, we were trying to come up with like names.
Yeah, it was hard.
Names of a movie that has podcast as instead of the word, and none of them were.
You
good.
should have come up with podcast for the recently deceased. The other Twitch podcast.
That's true. We should have just stolen that one. Yeah. Remember, I still love the one that was. This is so fucking stupid, but it was the podcast is coming from inside the house. You remember that one?
Yes, yeah.
That was a front runner for a really long time. It's so stupid.
It was.
So dumb.
Jeremy and I did a podcast once, and we couldn't think of a name for it, so we just named it Pterodactyl Face. Was the name of the? And
I love it.
There was no reason.
That's a great name.
See, I love stuff like that. That's perfect.
I don't even remember what that podcast's point was.
Because
we would review movies. That was just a movie review podcast, and we would watch 2 movies, and like we would each give each other one movie you had to watch, and then we would review it. Because we started like 8 different podcasts in the past like 10 years. We've done one with like Graham Skipper from who's in VFW.
Sorry.
We've done so many. It's ridiculous. And they never get off the ground.
Yeah, same with this one.
Yeah. Look at this.
We just never edit. I never edit them. Excuse me. Not we never edit them. I never edit them.
I hated editing audio. For some reason, I just like, it's theoretically easier than video because you don't have to show cuts and stuff. But like, I don't know. I just hated it.
I'm going to tell you the worst part about editing audio. You can't listen to a podcast while you're editing a podcast.
100%. Nothing can be in
I can't watch Twitch. You know, and it's like, if I could just turn Twitch on, I can edit photos all day long with Twitch in the background.
And you have to hear your own voice for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
No. Eventually, like the first couple Control-Alt-Deaths were very well edited, where like every little fucking, like every little cut out of there. Oh, there's 2 seconds of dead air out. And then they and then toward the end, it's like, whatever we recorded is just going in there, intro and all. And then finally, I'm like, I'm not fucking doing this. It's just going to be a Twitch show, and it'll go to YouTube. But you're going to get the intro because I'm not going to cut that out because it's too much time.
That's why I kept trying to tell Jeremy. I'm like, we need to just do the podcast on Twitch. That way, we're accountable, and we have an audience already that knows that it exists, and it's We'll edit it down slightly, maybe, but at least the audience will keep us going.
Yeah, it's easier. You just you stream it, whatever is there, and then you upload it to YouTube. Done. That's what we do, and it's great.
Done and done.
But you also probably need to, I don't know, put it on podcast apps. You guys not doing that?
We did.
The first like 50 or so are definitely there, and then after that, because also like we looked at once we went from the podcast only to Twitch, the numbers dropped significantly. So like the majority of the audience is now here. So it's like, should we be doing it? Should I be doing it? Yes. And should I not be lazy? Yes.
There's also tons of visual stuff.
Yes.
That happens that would confuse the hell out of any audio listener.
100%. 100%.
That's why, like another side note, you got to get a second audio track and mute all the
drops and stuff. Yeah.
But then you're gonna have like a whole bunch of dead air that you'll have to edit out.
The second audio track is the next. So hi, Jason. That's the next thing I want to do and get real music in here because I hate all this.
Yeah, because my wife and I do a food tasting show on my channel. We try to do it every week. I've been doing that since the beginning. I've been recording it in like super high quality on my computer with no background music, no bit alerts and stuff like that. So I can edit it and put it on YouTube. And we are now a year and a half into doing it, and I've never edited one.
Exactly.
I've got like 4 terabytes of hard drives. They're stacking up of footage, and I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this?
I also record everything locally, and I don't think anyone else does. Because when people like lose a show, like if they lose the VOD on Twitch, it's just gone forever. And I'm so paranoid about losing footage of anything I do that I record it, and I know that like makes my computer run slower, but at the same time, like I'm like I kind of want to just have a backup. So I have any show that I've streamed from this computer, I have recorded, which is kind of nice to have. But it's
well. Also, I mean, like posting a VOD to YouTube, you're talking about compression on top of compression on top of compression,
right?
And so that's why, like, I stream at 5,000 kbps, and I record at 15,000 onto my computer so that I can upload that theoretical version to YouTube. Never.
Right. I upload the VOD. I don't for this show. I don't upload the one that I record because it's 9,000 megabytes. But the one that is in the VOD is like whatever. It's good.
Especially YouTube. YouTube really needs like a super high quality file.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I used to only upload things at 30 megabytes per second to YouTube. They're probably better now, but
Vimeo was
I'm crazy.
Vimeo was like the filmmaker's place to go, right? And then they turned into, then they got like they turned into a bunch of dickheads, and they're like, no, you can't.
Yeah, they're like, you want to host a 720p video? Pay us $100 a year. We're Vimeo.
It's like, fuck you guys, man. I took all my shit off Vimeo. Like, no way. I don't care. I'll go to YouTube.
I actually gave you that behind the scenes of After Midnight, and it was a Vimeo video. And I went, oh yeah, Vimeo exists.
Right, because it's just gone. And I can't imagine anyone is going to pay that amount. Like, if you're an indie filmmaker, you don't have extra money to spare on fucking Vimeo. Right. Like, no, everyone's going to go to YouTube.
It used to be that they were higher quality than YouTube, but if you upload to YouTube at 30 megabytes per second, it's really high quality. It's perfect quality. It doesn't matter.
All right, we have another Would You Rather. This one's really sad, so I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Would you rather be constantly depressed or constantly afraid?
Would I?
How about both? That one's sad. I'm sorry, everybody. But that was Sleep on Monster's fault, not mine. So
Sleep on Monster.
Sleep on Monster, how could you?
I feel like both of those questions are missing. They're missing context. Why am I depressed? And why am I afraid?
Yeah, this book doesn't really get into a lot of detail. It's more of just, here's a weird thing. Some of them are really sad.
I feel like afraid would be the answer because I feel like most people are constantly afraid right now.
Yeah.
For different reasons.
Very true.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I mean, I still hand sanitize my hands every time I touch something and wear a mask every time I go anywhere.
100%. I go through so much hand sanitizer. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I also have to taste for a living with my recipe writing.
Yeah.
So I've been freaking out about it.
Yeah. Number 2. It's question number 2. What's the scariest monster movie you've ever seen?
Ooh.
So
the Thing? The Thing?
Yeah, it's a good one.
Good answer.
Good answer.
I would say it's kind of weird. We were trying to think of like monster movies. There haven't been that many in the last decade.
Zoltan says It Follows.
I did not like It Follows for some reason.
Really?
I can't remember why.
I mean,
I guess that, I mean, yes, it's a monster movie, but not really. But it is. It's a monster you don't see, but you do. It's a hard one. What did Gene say? The Ritual, dude. Yeah, The Ritual.
The Ritual. The Ritual. I think The Ritual and Antlers are like the two movies that when the trailers dropped for those, we were like, fuck, because we were still finishing After Midnight.
Right.
And both of them kind of reminded us of what we wanted to make.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen Antlers. I think Antlers kind of disappointed a lot of people, so I never cared to watch it.
Yeah, I watched it very recently because I remember the trailer being like, "Oh, this looks cool," and then I watched it, and it's fine. It's not great, and it's more of a cool concept than an actual movie. I did really like The Ritual, though.
Yeah, I think The Ritual was had the coolest freaking monster ever or something.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh man. Also, didn't the guy that did Ex Machina, didn't he just have like a crazy monster in a movie? The one with the weird glowy.
Yeah, Annihilation.
Yeah, he knows what you're talking about.
That was a good. Yeah.
I like that one. That was with
good.
Natalie Portman, right?
Yes.
Yabos?
Yabos.
Yeah, I like that one.
Men, isn't his latest one? It was right.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
It was right. Question 3. If you had to feed a part of your body to a zombie, what's the first to go?
Yeah.
Your farts.
I mean, a pinky toe, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
Pinky toe.
although you're supposed to get off balance, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a pinky finger.
I think you do a pinky toe, and then you eventually you'll get used to it, and you'll be fine. But I wouldn't want to lose a pinky. I like my pinkies.
But after the useless toes and the useless fingers, then where do you go? You got to go to your ass, right?
What?
I would try to do the love handles.
Maybe an earlobe. Earlobe.
No.
Oh, love handles. You get 2 birds, 1 stone.
Exactly.
Just get rid of the love handles.
Why are people talking about shitting in the sink? What did I miss? I don't know. I'm gonna let it go.
I don't know.
I'd give him a boob.
Ben wrote these questions, so if you want to skip this one, feel free. Do your best zombified version of the electric slide dance.
Oh no, I almost skipped that one. I don't even know
man.
electric slide. I don't even know electric slide.
Ben, you do it. You do it right now.
That's the electric slide. Okay.
What is your favorite movie monster makeup?
Oh boy.
You gotta go the thing.
Probably
right?
Freddy Krueger.
Ooh.
Right? If I was just talking makeup, but otherwise, you know.
Do you like when Freddy is like super slimy though? I don't like when Freddy's slimy.
I don't remember him being slimy, but you guys just watched the third one.
Mm-hmm. That was a good one. He's not that slimy in that one, but towards the end of it, he does get slimy. But like in the second one, very slimy. And even in the first one.
How about just the original Child's Play doll? The original one.
Mm-hmm.
Psycho Gorman, yep. It's up there.
From like Child's Play 2, I feel like was peak Chucky makeup. You know, like when he melts at the end and he's crawling. That's like peak Chucky makeup.
100%.
And that's coming from the guy that did After Midnight. The studio, they did the new Chucky. And the guy that's in the suit in After Midnight was the puppeteer of the new Chucky.
Ooh.
Before they fully replaced 90% of it with CGI or something.
Right.
I know one of the puppeteers for the Chucky show. He's pretty cool. Eric Beck helped make, I think, the new Chucky for the show. I kind of like the show one.
I haven't seen the show.
Yeah,
I need to.
It's pretty good.
Either.
Pretty good.
That leads me to a question I meant to ask earlier. For After Midnight, you had mentioned that you don't have the monster suit. You weren't able to keep any it. Why? If you made the movie, I would feel like if I made that movie and there's a monster in it and I can't keep a big fucking piece of that, like the head, I would be pissed. You know?
So yeah. So how it works is, we got a quote for the monster, and the quote came, and it was more than the budget of the movie.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
So, our producers went back and said, "Hey guys, that's not going to happen. That's more than the whole movie's budget. What can you guys do for like, say this much? Half the movie's budget instead." which is it's batshit when you think about the fact that the thing's on screen about 35 seconds,
right?
And it's like half the movie's budget. And they were like, "Well, what we can do is we can make you a new head. Its head won't it won't be animated, and we can reuse a body.
Oh, okay.
And we're like, I guess that's what we can afford. Like, we'll get it. Now, here's the thing. These guys are really good at what they do, and they care about what they do. So they reuse a body, but then they put all those quills on it and all that stuff to make it into a totally different thing.
Yeah.
And so, you know, they're not going to, their names on it, they're not going to put out shit.
Right.
So it is kind of like, it is like a negotiation where you kind of have to feel things out. And so the body came from Underworld Rise of the Lycans.
Hell,
it is a werewolf.
Yeah, it did.
And I have seen it was on TV the other day. I've never seen the movie. It was on TV, and I saw it on screen, and I went, "Holy shit, that's definitely his chest."
Yeah,
which we try not to show in the movie too much of, but you can see a lot of it in the behind the scenes. And it is just like a werewolf's chest, but there's no fur on it, so it's kind of just like a weird muscular
fleshy
thing. But yeah, the head, I don't know what they're doing with the head, because I think part of the contract is they're not allowed to reuse the head. Like, the head is our,
right.
Like,
your design.
It's almost like trademarked to our movie.
Wow.
So it's like, why can't we keep the head?
Yeah.
It's like probably in their warehouse somewhere.
That's
That stinks.
something that Ben and I, especially in the early podcast days, we were like, this prop, do you think this still exists somewhere in some box in some warehouse? I think it was Uninvited with that. I don't know if you've seen Uninvited, but it's a big cat, and then the cat like opens his mouth, and then another cat comes out, and it's just a really silly 80s movie. But like, we always ask, like, do you think this prop still exists somewhere? God damn it, fucking Mia.
Can you look up? Can you look up the uninvited cat scene? Because it's
I
kind
feel
of
like
incredible.
one day I'm going to be like in Masters Effects' studio or something, right?
It's gonna be there,
and I'm gonna see the head, and I'm gonna actually cry. I feel like I'm gonna actually cry.
You just gotta grab it. You just gotta grab it and run.
Yeah.
And then when I cry, they'll be like, "You want to just take it?"
Yeah, exactly. That's what you got to do. Yes, please let me keep it.
Because it's like the house. Like, the house was like meant so much to us. The house that we filmed After Midnight in, and then last year it burnt down, and it was like, well, that sucks. Like, we were probably two. We were like, well, I wouldn't say two. I would say like the whole crew. Are probably the only people that gave a shit about that house anymore. Right. We knew the owners were trying to build some kind of condo complex on that property, because it was a lakefront property. And I'm not saying it was insurance fraud, but I mean, it was a stormy night. It probably got struck by lightning. There was a bald eagle's nest in the chimney.
Whoa.
Wow.
And so if that got struck by lightning, you could see just a giant, like 6 foot wide nest of dry sticks right at the top of this house.
Jesus.
But it burnt to the ground. And then everybody was like, the house from Away We Go burnt to the ground. And I was like, screw you guys, it's my house.
Right. Yeah, no, it's After Midnight house.
It was a YouTube video by some people that they go around and they tour horror locations for horror movies. They go to like the house from Amityville Horror and Halloween and whatever. And then they were like, we're going to the Away We Go house. And I was like, hey guys, you tour horror houses. This house is actually in a horror movie.
Right.
And they were going through it and they were going, look at how creepy this is. It's like, no one's been here in 10 years. You could tell they just up and left. And I was like, no, those are our props.
Right.
Like, we were there last year.
Yeah.
And by the way, I was watching I was watching on the edge of my friggin' seat because the deer in After Midnight that's on the wall. When we left, nobody wanted it because we're all like, it's gross. It's taxidermy. Antlers had been ripped off. We're like, we don't want a dead deer in our house, even though it's a big prop from the movie. And so nobody took it. And the last thing before we locked up the house is we walked upstairs and we pulled open the covers of the bed that was upstairs, which still had and we put the deer head right in the bed and tucked him in up to his neck.
That's amazing.
And then we put pillows like it had a body.
That's horrifying. Holy shit.
Left with like a body with a deer's head. And so these people were walking up those stairs and I'm like, please let that deer head be there. And they got up there and everything was still there except for the deer head. Somebody came out. That house got broken into every day.
Yeah.
It was next to a camp for kids.
Oh, there you
and
go.
They would all go in there and smoke and drink and
do drugs,
light fireworks, which is another theory of what happened.
I burnt down.
So we actually, when we were shooting the movie, we had to have 24/7 security watching the house, because if you just walked away for a minute, they came and broke windows.
Jesus.
Most of the windows in the movie are plexiglass that we put in because they were all broken.
Yeah.
My friend Juan, who directed the movie Fingers, he was helping us clean the house for a full month before we started shooting. We were cleaning the house instead of like, I don't know, doing pre-production.
Right.
It's like scrubbing the walls and cleaning things. And these kids came and broke in while we were like at lunch. They opened up our cooler and emptied like 20 bottles of water in the middle of the living room.
What the hell?
And there were just bottles of water. There was just a puddle and empty bottles of water thrown everywhere.
Jesus.
And they broke the back window where this door was. And then my friend Juan was painting in that room that day, and he tripped on something and his arm went through the window and he sliced his arm open, and he had to get like 12 stitches.
Ouch.
And then we all got a tattoo. We all got a tattoo in the exact place he had to get stitches. He bled. Holy crap.
Julie with the big old raid.
Hi, Julie.
Julie, welcome.
Thank you for raiding.
Thank you. Doodletown. Everyone's here from Doodletown. Thank you, everybody.
Doodletowners.
Doodletowners. How was the stream, Julie?
Yeah.
One final bit of kind of ha to those kids who emptied all of our water and caused my friend to cut his arm open. If they had just looked a little harder, they would have found the cooler on the back patio that had 60 beers in it.
Yeah, right.
They didn't find that.
I was gonna say you should have gone back after everything with the suit and just sit in that house in the costume at night and just wait for them to come in and then scare the fucking shit out of them. That would be amazing.
You should have seen the action though when I saw that all that water on the ground and I went, the beers. And I would run into the beers because we would be there for 10 hours a day cleaning, and then we would all just sit out on the patio and drink beers at the end. But because that was our life for like a whole month.
Yeah. Because
that house had its doors were wide open for a decade.
Jesus.
So there were like wasp nests everywhere, it was awful.
Raiders, this is Christian Stella, who is a filmmaker. He's joining us today. We're eventually going to talk about that movie, Killer Sofa. Which is amazing. But we're picking his brain right now.
Yeah.
But you did say you kept a couple of the little pieces of the monster's back, right? That's all you got was the two
Yeah,
little
I kept
pieces.
the little fronds. They're in a plant on this shelf back
Oh,
here.
that's cool. See,
But they're
I would have kept everything. Like the deer head, I would be the one that's like, oh no, I'll take that. Let me have that. Let me grab it. Because I would.
It's funny because we have so much. I guess from making movies, like there's a prop from the second movie we made, Tex Montana. There's a prop that I kept that is like a huge spoiler, but it's a massive, cool prop. At least part of the prop, because we gave some of it away. We did a Kickstarter to release that movie.
Oh, okay.
Hey, wifey, can you give me an energy drink? But we wifey.
So she's like, I just want to confirm she's not still asleep, right? She is awake now.
No, she's awake now.
Okay, good.
But we had an issue with we have like a storied history with piracy.
Oh yeah.
Which is an interesting thing. But one of the things we wanted to do on the second movie was we raised $50,000 on Kickstarter after we shot the movie, so that we could just release it Creative Commons on YouTube and on torrents.
Oh, that's cool.
Because we basically made the movie for under $2,000, and in 5 days with just like 4 people, we just went and shot that movie really quick because it's found footage. And then we were like, well, this is definitely a movie, but who's going to buy this, you know? And so we said, well, let's just release it for everyone. And we were like, what's the amount of money that we would be happy with for basically what was like a year of our lives with post-production and so on? And we were like, wow, you know, if we make $15,000 each, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be a lot less after we fulfilled everything, but we did do it. And it was a cool little thing. And we were like, and everyone was like, hey, so this is like, this proves that you could do something like that. And I was like, no, it really doesn't, because movies cost more than $50,000 to make.
Yeah. But usually,
you know, like
a bit more.
You know, like we only could do it because we made the movie for $2,000, but I don't want to ever make a movie for $2,000 again in my life.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Which is the same with the battery and other things.
This is Tex Montana, the movie you're talking about? Okay, cool.
Yeah. It's like the battery has made in the history of time, the battery has made around, I would say, $125,000. And
oh boy.
These.
Sorry about that, folks. We got to patch up these holes.
But like, you know, $125,000 is nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah.
But that's also too low of a budget to make almost any movie.
Right.
And the battery was like seen as a huge success. Like, I mean, it's still seen as a huge success. It's on like a bunch of top zombie movies of all time lists and other things. So it is kind of, we're like, how do you make profit? You know, but by the way, when I say $125,000, we also had, how we made that movie is that we had 10 people gave $600. And so there's 10 people that owned 10% each. And then Jeremy and me and other people, we started giving away extra percentage to people that were working for free. So today I only own 2.5% of that movie.
Oh, wow.
So I got a check the other day for $104 for last year, you know?
Yeah.
So it is like, that movie is not, there is no money in that movie for me anyway.
Yeah.
There are some other people that like bought a lot of the other people out, and now they have like, have like a larger piece of the movie. And
interesting.
A larger piece of nothing.
It's funny.
Well, Christian, you didn't get to keep the monster from After Midnight, but we did find a toy of your monster Did you know that this was made?
No, what is this?
A cat. It's. Well, Gabe, do you want to bring it up?
Well, I mean,
Is it under here?
Yeah, I put it under.
Is it under here?
Yeah.
What is this? Oh,
there we go. It's a Cadco poop.
I wish this was real.
It's Funko Pop, but it's Cadco poop.
It totally is real.
It's real.
It's totally real.
It's real.
Yeah, and we can open it up for you.
Well,
okay.
Take out the figure.
I don't think you should open it, Ben. It's gonna lose its value. It's one of a kind.
No, we can. I'm gonna. Yeah. Let me open it up.
Oh boy.
I don't think you should open it.
Yeah.
I think you need to sing a song.
Oh, there
first.
it is.
It's over there now.
There he is. There's a little monster. We'll give this to you. I don't know how we'll give it to you.
Oh boy.
There he is.
There you go.
No.
He's a little monster, dude.
I'm a little concerned here. He's getting bigger.
No,
he's fine. He's fine.
He's fine. He's just gonna hang out.
There he goes. Just hang out right there.
Yeah.
Which it's just gonna happen. It's gonna happen when I least expect it, isn't it?
Nah, nothing's gonna happen.
Nothing's gonna happen.
It's just a toy. It's just a toy.
Total toy right there.
You can see
not
his
gonna
little,
come to life.
You can see his little Rise of the Lycans chest.
Yeah. If you look real close, you can see Kate Beckinsale in there.
Also, I like you got the tail perfect too. That's a CGI tail that was added by our producer Aaron Moorhead. It's actually the tail of the monster in their movie Spring.
Oh,
interesting.
Yeah, they had a CGI monster, and he was like, "I'll take the tail from this and put it on."
I love it. That's so cool.
That's cool.
I love it.
But
your monster is a mishmash of monsters.
Do you look on
a monster mash?
A monster, yeah, like the song. Maybe the song's about this monster. Have you looked on like Etsy to see if anyone's made like a little toy or something of the monster? Because I feel like this is the type of thing that someone who's super creative on Etsy would be like, oh, here's a little clay figure of the After Midnight
There
monster.
is, I'm telling you, there is the craziest thing I've ever seen, which is I was looking for, I wanted to make, because I do some Lego streaming on my channel. And I'm like, I want to make the house from the movie out of Lego.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the parts and trying to figure out what, and then I started thinking there's a company that makes little Lego figures that you can customize perfectly. And I was like, okay, maybe I should just at least make a diorama of the last scene in the movie where everyone's sitting around the table. And then I'll get all the characters in Lego minifigs. The company that makes those minifigs, for some reason, has one head that happens to be identical to my monster's head, and I don't understand why.
What?
I don't get it.
That's cool.
And I'm like, so I could definitely make that, but I also suck at Lego. So
that would
and
be
it would cost a fortune.
It probably would, but hey, I'd buy one. That'd be cool.
I'm like, I'm going to try to find this now.
Yeah, if you find it, send it to me in Discord and I'll pull it up because that'd be super cool.
Because it shouldn't exist. It clearly is our monster.
Maybe they're just
and I don't know what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a dragon head. That's what it's supposed to be.
Okay. Okay. I can see that.
I can see that. Yeah.
While you're looking it up, let me hit you with this hard-hitting question. You and your business partner are opening up a monster/zombie themed homemade Uncrustables shop. What is the name of your #1 seller? You familiar with Uncrustables?
Monsters/zombie homemade Uncrustables?
Yep.
Yes.
What's the name of your #1 seller? I'm sorry.
Don't you apologize for these questions?
Sorry, I didn't write this. This was Ben.
I'm trying to think of like a way to say that, like, your guts are jelly, and like your guts are made of jelly, or unskinnable.
Unskinnable. I like it.
I like that one.
I like that. That's the one. Actually, this Watch out, Freddy. Don't knock over the toy. Jesus.
I should have helped.
So loud. You just started drinking an energy drink. Is that correct?
Yes.
Let's say
I'm addicted.
Let's say that energy. Oh, we're getting a call.
Oh God.
Hello, ControlAltDeath.
Hello, long time listener, first time caller. Got a question for that TV person in the TV.
Christian, yes.
Question.
What's your question?
Maybe
caller?
more, but at least two. So my first question is about Ben and Mickey versus the Dead, and my question is, why did you call it the Battery?
Okay, good. I love that. My first question is about Ben and Mickey versus the Dead. Why did you call it the Battery? It's not called Ben and Mickey versus the Dead. The Germans, they renamed it that.
Those Germans.
They always name things so weird.
They renamed it that without telling us.
What?
By the way, this is a thing that happens in filmmaking. Sometimes we don't even know that our movie was sold. We have like brokers who broker deals overseas.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we'll just be Googling our movie and we'll see a DVD cover from Japan or something. And we'll say, I guess we'll go to Japan. And they'll give us a quarterly report. And we'll go, yeah, there's the one from Japan. So Ben and Mickey vs. the Dead, we didn't know that was the title until we saw the cover art. And we were like,
that's crazy.
Insane that it's in a holographic steelbook. We were so happy, and we were like, well, what the hell is with that stupid title? Because they wanted it to be Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Oh yeah, okay.
I think because of the beardy guy.
Yeah. Beardy guy.
But the Battery, the title The Battery is because in baseball, a pitcher and a catcher are known as a battery.
Oh.
So they're positive and negative. That's the only thing. I don't know anything about baseball. That's totally Jeremy's thing.
And he has a catcher's tattoo, right, on his arm. Was that a real tattoo?
Yeah, he got that. Yeah, he got that at a film festival where the Battery was playing. I think
that's awesome.
There's often tattoo people at film festivals, and they're like, "You guys made a movie. You want a tattoo?"
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Awesome.
I've gotten it at least 2 during film festivals.
That's cool.
But yeah, that's the only
reason. And then my
second question, caller.
My second question is the much more important question, which is what's your favorite part of Psycho Gorman?
Well, that would be them, right? I've never seen it.
No, I think he's asking you. He knows you.
He's asking you.
He knows you haven't seen it, and he's mad.
I have to see it, guys. I have to see it. I will see it.
Oh, he hung up on you.
He hung up.
He's mad.
You know, I get it, guys. I get it. Is it on Shudder?
Yes,
it is.
It is a Shudder, quote unquote, original. Oh, here we go.
I sent you the custom minifig head for Lego that shouldn't freaking exist. Look.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
whoa.
And there's a tan one even. It's like, why does this exist?
You gotta make this.
Yeah.
As far as a Lego version of my monster is concerned, that's about as close as you're gonna get.
100%.
Yeah.
You gotta go
and it's the only thing they sell.
You gotta go on. Look at this. Stupid little guy.
That's what my monster would look like. You know, it's pretty accurate. It's not, I mean, if you see the behind the scenes, it doesn't look that different.
You got to go on Fiverr and just have someone like say, hey, I'll give you $20 and you make me like a really cool little clay version and then make 2 and give 1 to me.
The other thing too, though, is that like, there's something funny in the fact that it's like an actual thing that already exists. Like, it's not like something that I had custom made or anything. It's like, no, this is me making this out of Lego parts that exist.
Right. That's true.
Which is kind of cool. But
that's awesome.
Next question. Describe the most horrifying monster.
Shake your head.
Describe the most horrifying monster that lives in the basement of a Burger King.
Oh God. Okay, so he's got to be flame broiled, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, sure.
I'm thinking like
Crown.
I'm thinking just the guy from
The Sneak
I
King?
don't know if I want to spoil it. I was like the guy that lives in the killer sofa, he like fell face first onto the flame broiler.
Yeah.
Right. And now he lives in the basement of a Burger King.
I think he needs to have the crown, but it's like seared, like melted to his skull. So it's just like there, it's a little crooked. That'd be cool.
Yeah. And he just like lives under a pile of empty fry boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Does Burger King have like a sauce? I don't think they do, right? They're just flame broiled.
Yeah, that's their thing.
No secret sauce.
Just a lot of mayonnaise at Burger King.
Yes. Yeah.
If you could rewrite any rom-com into a monster or zombie movie, which one would it be? That's a good question, Ben.
Thanks.
I mean, Notting Hill would be funny.
Oh.
I mean, a lot of people, we would joke that our movie was what's that Nicholas Sparks movie? The Notebook with a monster.
Yeah, I could see that.
We actually at some point I photoshopped a monster into the poster of the Notebook.
That'd be awesome.
What if I have that?
If you were bit by a zombie, do you keep it a secret or do you hide it? Oh, sorry. Do you keep it a secret? Is that what you meant, Ben, or did you mean would you not keep it a secret or would you hide it?
Oh yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry.
Would you keep it a secret or would you tell it you're high? Right?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
I think you keep it a secret, right? Unless you're with someone that you love. I guess if you're with someone that you love, you probably go chain yourself up like a werewolf, right?
Yeah, 100%. If you're with your enemy, everything's fine, man. Everything's great.
Yeah, you got to go chain yourself up like a werewolf and then like write a note that says, "I love you, darling. Can you please bring me meat?"
And an energy drink.
Yeah.
Next question. What's your favorite Playdate game?
Casual Birder so far.
Yeah.
Casual Birder. I wish I could play it, but I don't have a Playdate.
I just got on the last like couple weeks. I still have to open it. There's one that's called Demon Quest 86 or 85.
That sounds cool as fuck.
And there's another one called Saturday Edition. Both of those are supposedly kind of like story-driven RPGs.
What about Don? Thank you.
Well done, thanks.
Love you.
Those gifted subs.
And that's what I've been missing. I've been missing a game like Casual Birder, a game like Pokemon, a game like... I'm not a big fan of all the little arcadey games that are on there right now. I don't know why.
I wouldn't know because I don't have one.
Some of the games are like they're not great. But I think that their whole season pass thing is a failure.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
When they come out 2 a week.
Yeah.
Because there were a couple weeks where I was like, I don't like either of these things. And now it was like 2 weeks in a row where I didn't like any of the games. And so I haven't played anything in a couple weeks. And I'm like, no, I got to get back into the headspace that I was in.
Right.
When I first turned the game on and I got Casual Birder and also the other game, and they were both good games.
Right.
So I think that was probably a mistake.
So if you oh, go ahead, Ben. You first.
No, you go.
If I get a Playdate today, I still will have all those games, right?
If you get it today, you'll turn it on and you'll have Casual Birder and the surfing game. And then is week 1.
Oh, so it starts from when you get it. And then you get oh, okay.
And then week 2 sucked. And then week 3 sucked. And I was like, I think I beat Casual Birder too quickly.
Yeah.
And I was kind of left going, but also the community is going to make some games that should fill in those gaps really well. It just needs like one Zelda clone.
Right.
Yeah.
One Pokemon clone. And because even Casual Birder, you can beat in like 3 hours. So it really needs like a 10-hour story-driven kind of game.
That'd be awesome.
But maybe that's just me because that's what I like for handhelds. I like Pokemon and Zelda handhelds.
I was watching one of your streams and you were saying that you were thinking about making a game through the app.
Yeah, I do want to.
Have you started?
I wanted to make a battery game.
Oh,
so bad.
Cool.
I wanted to do that for years, but I know I can't. I don't have any game making knowledge, but I'm like, I see the Oregon Trail, but with the battery.
That's awesome.
And I feel like that would be so fun. And then also you have the crank, so you've got the scene that my wife's in,
right?
Because you have the crank.
You can literally crank it. That's amazing.
We called that because the actor, his name is Adam Kronheim. We called his acting in that scene the Kronheim crank.
The Kronheim crank. I will say, as funny as
looked
that
like he was
is,
cranking.
That's like an interesting aspect of like zombie movies, which you don't really see as like, oh my god, worst. Because like it's played for laughs, of course, but it's also like people are horny. They're always going to be horny, you know.
Yeah.
And like usually zombie movies go toward the dark side of that in with that stuff, but in this it's like, oh, he's just gonna do a quick little, you know. I get it.
It's pretty awkward, right? Like it's not like there's like a weird thing to that scene where we think that people that are watching the movie feel very uncomfortable, very, very uncomfortable, because they're not sure how seriously we're taking that scene as filmmakers.
Right.
Until he shoots the zombie and starts laughing. And I think at that exact moment, the audience is like, okay, we're allowed to laugh.
Right. Right.
Especially when you watch it like in a theater with an audience.
100%.
Right.
You could hear a pin drop through that whole scene. Nobody's laughing. And then as soon as he shoots her and starts laughing, the whole audience is like, oh, thank God we're allowed to laugh.
There's that relief of like, okay, it's funny. It's
not weird. Unlike After Midnight, the jump scare at the end of After Midnight, the whole audience jumped and then they were laughing the entire rest of the movie, which was good.
Awesome.
Because they were laughing at how bad that jump scare got them.
Right.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they quieted down, the monster was already gone.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, okay,
that
cool.
I wasn't sure what was gonna happen because I know you had mentioned, oh boy.
Oh no.
He's here. That one might need to stick around because I know you had mentioned that there's not much of the monster in that movie. So going into it, I'm like, okay, I know I'm not going to expect him or the monster to come around, but I knew he had to come back at some point for there to be some type of confrontation. But like that, I was totally not expecting that jump scare. I'm not going to say what it is because if people haven't watched it, go watch After Midnight because it's so good. But like, that took me completely by surprise. That was like, I was like totally like, this scene is great. I'm enjoying it. Everyone's having fun. And then fucking total left turn. And it was amazing.
It's funny too, because we like,
sorry about that.
We like paint ourselves into a wall, into a corner with our movies sometimes because we don't shoot coverage. And so we're just lucky that stuff, we're lucky that we were able to pull this stuff off. You know, that 14-minute shot in the middle of that movie of dialogue, there was talk by the producers and everybody. One of the producers, basically the person who was overseeing the money person's money, basically, was like, so you guys are shooting coverage, right? You're shooting coverage.
Nope.
And we were like, yeah, no, yeah. And he was like, you have to shoot coverage. And we're like, oh no, well, she talks about the clock on the wall. So we're going to shoot a close up of the clock on the wall. And if we ever need to like cut anything out, we'll just cut to the clock and we'll come back. And he was like, okay, yeah. And the day of that scene, which we thought was going to be an 8-minute scene, and it turned out to be 14 minutes in one shot. As soon as it ended, Dave Lawson, who's the main producer with Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead, the directors of Moon Knight, they're a trio. He looks at us and he goes, "We're not shooting coverage." Like, take one, he goes, "We're not shooting coverage." And it's like, and he's the main producer. And I was like, that's awesome. And then that other guy kept coming up to us and saying, "When are you shooting that shot of a clock?" And I kept saying, could you imagine 7 or 8 minutes into that shot if it just cut to a clock?
Fucking clock on the wall.
And then cut back to the same fucking shot again. Right. And it was like, wow. Everybody would go, "Oh, somebody flubbed the line."
Right.
So they had to cut to the clock. It even if it was to cut down the scene. But there was a lot of that in the movie, you know, with the karaoke song at the end of the movie. It's the whole song. And it's like, I don't know, like maybe we should have shot a version that's like perfect, got a different out, but
it was perfect.
Oh, well.
I love the slow burn of just movies in general that have like the really long anticipation, the build up, but it's just zooming in very slowly. And it's almost like if you're not paying attention to the fact that it's zooming, probably wouldn't.
Oh, you will
notice.
Never know. You could only know in fast forward,
right?
Really,
and then it stops, and then it zooms out a little bit, and like that is, and it's so fucking subtle, and the conversation, like that's the whole movie right there, is that conversation between them. So I loved it. So much.
And it was like, if that scene didn't land, the whole movie was screwed, and it was
100%.
It was going to be done for. But we did that with the battery. The end of the battery, that shot where he's alone in the car is around 10 minutes long.
Yeah.
And Jeremy often says that shot is because it's like being in the waiting room while like somebody's in surgery.
Right.
And so that's more horrifying than being the person in surgery.
Right.
Because you don't know how anything's going. Obviously, the person in surgery is knocked out, but it's like just waiting on news. Waiting on news is scary.
Yeah.
And so that's how that scene is supposed to come off.
Oh, for sure. And it's so much more effective. It's more effective than if you had shot him on the outside looking for the keys, because then it's like, that's what you expect to see. You expect to see him running around and looking, and like, yeah, there'd be anxiety and stress because the zombies are there, but like, no, you're showing the other side of just you're sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. It was perfect. It was perfect.
Yeah. Plus, we didn't have zombies, so
right. It worked. That's what I'm saying. Like, you didn't need to. Like, it's so much more effective to show the waiting room side of it.
Most of that car stuff in the battery was shot in a garage.
Oh, really?
Huh.
Yeah, just in a garage with when they put newspapers up. It's because we ran out of zombies. Like, we only had the zombies for a day.
Oh, wow. Did you have air conditioning going anywhere near them? Because
no, we didn't have it.
So fucking hot.
We didn't have any AC on the battery.
Oh, man.
And we didn't have any AC on After Midnight, which was in the middle of summer. It was 100 degrees out, and there was no AC in that house. The monster we could only shoot with for around 2 minutes.
Oh my God, it's too hot.
And then his head had to come off, and he had to have fans on him and so on.
Oh my God, it's my nightmare.
And and then Tex Montana Will Survive, we shot in the middle of winter in upstate New York or upstate Connecticut. And that we didn't have any heat, and we were just in the woods.
God.
You guys should film like a nice hotel.
Yeah,
just film a movie for a hotel room, and then you can just hang out and order room service. You know. Oh, hi, Jason.
Jeremy on Tex Montana. Jeremy wanted his character to be a moron who was wearing cowboy boots in the winter.
Hell yeah!
And then Jeremy got frostbite on his toe.
Oh no!
Because he was wearing cowboy boots. He was wearing cowboy boots and a thin leather jacket the whole movie, and it was a blizzard. We were in a blizzard, which, by the way, filming a movie, the movie was supposed to take place over the span of like 60 days. And it just so happened that halfway through filming, a blizzard hit. And then dumped like 3 feet of snow, and we were like, "This is perfect. It looks like time is passing." It was so great, but it was a miserable shoot. I was sick. I was horribly sick, and I was taking like that stuff that you put in your nose, that Afrin or something.
Yeah.
And we would just be shooting, and then all of a sudden, my nose would just start gushing blood.
Oh my gosh!
Oh no!
Because it was dried out from the winter and the stuff up my nose. And we were dying. It was the worst.
That's why Adam Sandler.
We've never had a good experience.
Adam Sandler just writes all of his movies on a beach. He's just always hanging out on a beach. It's great. It's genius.
It's like Netflix. You got to give me $200 million to go shoot in a Hawaiian resort. Perfect. Even Fingers, my friend Juan's movie Fingers that Jeremy's in, that's on Shudder. We shot that in the middle of summer in Florida. And there was an entire scene that was shot in a shipping container in the middle of Florida in the summer.
Jesus. You guys love it.
I got like heat stroke on that movie.
I'm sure.
We were also shooting in an RV that was like broken down with no AC. I'm like, when are we going to shoot a normal friggin' movie?
Right.
Never.
This is the last question. I wrote this one, Ben. I hope that's okay.
What?
If you had to fight in a zombie apocalypse with one piece of furniture, what would it be? And when I say furniture, I mean it's furniture that's alive and like,
oh, okay,
he's your teammate, you know.
So, okay, so he's my teammate,
as like a killer sofa type, you know. It's you and him, or you and this piece of furniture. What would it be?
It's gotta be furniture. Yeah, it can't be like a grill, like a barbecue grill. I feel like that would be good.
Maybe I'm gonna stick with furniture, like a chair, a sofa.
I mean, I feel like a bar stool would be scrappy. A bar stool could be scrappy. I feel like a recliner is too slow. We saw that in Killer Sofa.
Yeah, right? But if you do a recliner, you have a place to sleep every day. You could sleep on your friend. You know?
Okay, so no. I don't know. There's not that many types of furniture either, though, right?
It's true. Bar stool's a good one.
If I'm looking for places to sleep, then maybe I want to just like go with a full-on like king-size bed, right?
It's a good one.
It could go up onto 2 legs. If a king-size bed has 2 legs, and it can just smush them flat on top of them.
There you go.
Just land on them like a pancake.
Valley Dweller says bunk bed. It's a good one. Got some height advantage over the zombies.
Bunk bed. I'm still trying to think of the fact that Killer Sofa had to think of ways that the sofa would kill.
All right,
and I'm over here trying to think of how any piece of furniture could kill.
Exactly.
Shows how Killer Sofa should not exist. It shouldn't exist.
Let's get in. Let's get into Killer Sofa.
Okay.
Because it's an important movie, you know. It's an important movie. We got to talk about it.
It's very true.
So I believe Roscoe originally brought Killer Sofa to our attention, and then speak of the devil. And then I think Athena posted it recently. Now, Christian, you have some connection to Killer Sofa, right? What was your and it goes along with your name, Muted Star. So what's that story?
Okay, so when I first started on Twitch, my name was Muted Movies, was my screen name. And it was because I thought I was going to do a show like this, a podcasty type show, where I watched a movie on mute and tried to explain it to the audience. And the first movie I ever did was Killer Sofa. What? And here's the thing. I wasn't showing the movie to the audience in any way. I was only my face as I was watching a movie, and I would just be like, okay, there's a woman and she's taking a shower, and then now she's out of the shower and she's looking at the recliner really suspiciously. And I'm like just trying to explain what's happening. Like I'm telling some kind of weird bedtime story.
Right.
but I'm also watching it on mute, so I don't know what's happening. And so half of the show's idea was whether or not I could figure out the movie. And
I love it. That's genius.
Yeah.
Now, and I thought that this movie looked like a really fun, funny movie after watching it on mute, because the shots are so hilarious.
So dramatic.
And I was convinced that this movie would be hilarious in the dialogue because the shots are so hilarious. And I was dead wrong on the dialogue.
Very wrong. Yeah, this movie is very... It takes the idea of a killer sofa or recliner very seriously. And you, Christian, you didn't like that too much. You would want it to be more of a comedy, like a silly comedy, right?
Here's what I didn't like. I think that the chair stuff is so funny and so well shot, as far as it's stupid and in the best way, the best way,
100%.
Like where it is peering over and peering at the people.
Peeking
it is amazing. Like literally the shot of it coming up that you have right here on this podcast is not even as funny as it is in the movie when it's like looking down.
Yeah.
My problem is, I do think that the director thinks that his lore is really interesting. And I think that that hurts the movie. I think all of the stuff with the like voodoo and the old man and all of that stuff, I think that he really likes that dialogue. And I think that he actually thinks that it is like that he's making a Blumhouse movie or something. Like, I think that he thinks that it's actually good lore instead of that he knows that the movie is stupid.
Right.
And
I agree. I think I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot. I liked that they took it seriously. For me, if they were gonna play it up for like comedy and jokes and silly, I feel like that's what I was expecting going in, and I was ready to not like that as much. But the fact that they did take it so seriously, I loved it. But the idea of making having this whole backstory of like the magic and the Dybbuk's and, or, you know, all that stuff, it got so complicated. And it's called Killer Sofa. It should have just been a dude in the chair. Like when it was revealed that there's a guy in the chair, I'm like 100%, this is top 10. This is a perfect movie because it's a dude in the chair who's obsessed with this girl, and this is what he's gone to do it. The logistics of how he can kill people in a chair, who cares? You know? But then, it kept going, and I'm like,
yeah, like even if they went back in time to the beginning of the story and how it all came, they should have been in the medieval ages in the middle of a castle, and there should have been an old blacksmith making this lazy boy recliner.
Right.
Like, you can take it seriously, but there should be a little bit of a joke there. You know, like 100%. The girl should have been like, it wasn't me, it was the recliner. I'm telling you, it was the recliner.
Yeah.
There wasn't enough of that stuff.
Exactly, Sleeper Monster.
There wasn't enough. Like I said, the scene where they went through all the backstory, they needed to say chair every 8 words or so, and it would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
It would have been like the Dvorak or whatever is going into this chair, and now that chair is possessed. And you really think the chair is possessed? Like, they can still take it all seriously.
100%.
Yeah.
Isn't there actually a Conjuring movie that's about that Dvorak box or whatever?
Dybbuk, I think. Yeah, I think it's not Insidious. It's one of those. I get all those mixed up. Insidious and the other one, I forget. But yeah, like I feel like this was when we were watching this, and some people were like, "This feels like they had a movie about a killer." And it was boring or whatever. Might even been you, Christian, who said it, but someone was like, it's like they had this movie and it wasn't good, so they replaced it with a chair. And but they didn't change anything else. Like the fact that it's a chair is funny enough, they needed to change the lore and the story to fit the fact that it's a fucking chair that's killing people. And that was my biggest problem with it.
Yeah, it reminds me of like, not to bring back onto something that I made, but that Tex Montana that I was talking about is a found footage comedy, right? The reason it's a found footage comedy is because all of our friends were making shorts for VHS at the time. And we were like, hey, Jeremy goes, if VHS came to us and asked us to make a short, what would we make it about? And I said, fuck that. I don't want to do a VHS short. I hate found footage. I think it always looks like crap. I hate it.
Whoa. Found footage is awesome.
I hate the idea that it has to look bad.
I know.
So he goes, well, okay, what if the guy is like a host of like a Bear Grylls type show, and he's alone in the wild, and he's got his own cameras, and he's setting up his own cameras. And so it's allowed to be a good Discovery Channel camera that he sets up himself, and he knows what he's doing because he films this show. And I was like, okay, that I'll film, because he would be trying to get good looking shots.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go, okay, well, what's the bad guy? Right? Because we're like, it has to be a horror movie. It's got to be for VHS. We're like, what's the bad guy? What's the bad guy? We couldn't come up with a damn thing at all for the bad guy. And eventually we said, well, what if there is no bad guy? The guy's just really bad at surviving. And like, he's supposed to be a survival host, but he just sucks. And so he's his own worst enemy.
Yeah.
And then it became a comedy. This movie said, I have this lore. I want to do this lore. What's the bad guy? And he literally said in an interview, he looked over and he saw a recliner and he goes, that could be a bad guy.
But then he didn't change the story. He didn't change anything else. I think a few tweaks to the lore and the story, you rework it a little bit, and this would be like I don't know if you've seen Snatchers. We love Snatchers here. This would be Snatchers. Like a Snatchers level, like legit great comedy horror. That wasn't no. What was that? No, that was Velocipaster. This same thing could have been like Velocipaster level of like, it's a really stupid concept, but it's funny and like well done. And like Velocipaster is also taken seriously, but they allow for moments of ridiculousness in the actual movie itself. There's moments where it's like,
right, they
know that this is stupid. They're like, hey, we know we're taking it seriously, but here's like some little moments of levity here and there. And
it's almost like if the actors were worse, if the actors in this movie were worse, it would be a better movie.
Right. Yeah, they're too good. Bob Gravy.
Yeah.
There's just something so like, there's something off about how kind of normal the scenes are when the sofa's not in them. And it's kind of a bummer because the chair stuff is so funny.
It is.
And it makes me go, how could you be so self-aware to film such funny chair stuff, but then let some of those dialogue scenes just stay
go on
in
and
there.
on and on and on and on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's totally it. It's a slasher movie, but there's no slasher, and it's like, well, I'll if I can get to it when we get into the movie, I'll show the scenes. But like there are shots of this fucking chair just on the street looking up, and it's fucking genius. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Like I laughed every time the chair, and I was like, are they gonna CGI it? Is it gonna be like Velocipaster where it's a paper mache suit and they don't give a shit? Is it House Shark where it's like just it's just terrible? But like no, it's a real chair, and they had a dude go like when they need to, and it's fucking perfect. It's really subtle. It
works,
and it works, but it's the story. It's everything else that's like, oh man, you should have just gone all in with the chair and not try to have it be like this weird.
And now he's talking about, like in an interview I read, he's talking about making a sequel that goes into the backstory of the voodoo woman. And I'm like, why?
No, it's the chair.
You need to go there. If you make a sequel to Killer Sofa, you know what needs to happen? Someone needs to take apart that sofa and they need to use parts of the upholstery to make a whole round of sofas.
Yep.
And then they need to, I was always saying that about Child's Play. It blew my mind that the beginning of Child's Play 2, they like melt down Chucky and they show him in like a factory melted down and so on. And it was like, how come there never was a Child's Play where he got melted down and there were like hundreds of Chuckies? Like, that he went into the whole production run of the Chuckies. And that's what Killer Sofa 2 should be. It should be that there's a whole
multiple sofas.
Yeah. There's got to be baby sofas, or there's a you could give the killer chair a killer ottoman. Baby.
Yes. Anything. It writes itself.
I love it.
Killer ottoman, killer love seat, killer, like you could do anything. Like, don't make it about the boring part. Don't make a sequel about the boring part of the movie.
Podcast for the recently deceased says there's hundreds in the show. Awesome. I need to watch the show of Chucky.
I didn't get that far.
Mia in the Discord sent us this. I'm not gonna lie, this is awesome.
Whoa.
$15
cool.
though? $15? Smackaroos? This is
but it doesn't look like that in the movie either.
No, not at all. It looks like that on the poster. But like,
it's actually much better that it doesn't look like that in the movie.
Yeah, for real. If it was the movie, it would be a sofa. I did love everyone sharing their pictures of their chair that looked a lot like
yes.
It was great.
Is it better though? Would it be better if at the end of the movie it did open up its mouth like that?
Yeah.
Or instead of the guy?
Oh. Breaking news. There's a deluxe edition. For $25 with a head.
Wow.
Whose head is it?
I don't know. It's just a head.
I mean, it's not Francesca's head, right?
No, because she didn't die, right? Yeah, Don says I was no, she doesn't die. I was expecting someone getting eaten by a chair. Yeah, no one gets eaten. Why does no one get eaten in that fucking chair?
It would seem like that would be an easier thing to pull off, to have like someone slip into the chair. You remember those rollers on the show Double Dare that kids would have to slide between the two rollers? You just slide into
something like
chair.
that.
I believe that was the kid wash. It was a car wash, and you'd run and dive into it.
Yeah, it would seem like you could just make the two parts of the chair into those rollers.
I know they had. I think they had one chair, so they couldn't do too much because they didn't want to ruin the one chair. But like, come on, do something. Like, do something.
Could you imagine somebody's legs kicking out of the chair, going in, and then out the back? There's like blood spraying against the wall.
Yeah,
like
Just I think like, I think if you gave this to like Trauma, that would definitely happen. You'd have those scenes that this chair would eat hundreds of people, and there'd be tons of blood and guts.
And I definitely think that there's a middle ground. There's a middle ground between what this movie is and what Trauma would have made, right?
Yeah.
Like I totally appreciate making something stupid into something that everybody takes seriously.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I do think at some point you have to acknowledge that the audience is in on the joke. The characters are not in on the joke, but the audience is in on the joke. So you do have to respect your audience in that respect, and give them a little bit more fun when the chair's not on screen.
Yeah.
But the characters don't ever have to break. The characters can be in their own world where they believe this to be happening and all that.
Yes, agreed. 100%. All right, let's get through this movie.
Okay.
Oh no, not again.
we're gonna blast through it. We're gonna blast through it.
Yeah, we'll go fast.
Basically,
I have an old saying that's "Oh no, I'm back in school," which is from the movie Top Secret.
Oh, Val Kilmer.
He was getting beaten. He's like captured, and he's getting beaten with a whip, and he blacks out, and he goes. He shows up at school as a kid, and he goes, "Oh no, I'm back in school," And then he snaps out of it and he's getting beaten with a whip again. And he's like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, exactly. So we meet the star of the movie, Francesca, who is everyone is attracted to her. Everyone is obsessed with her. She has a lot of stalkers, men and women. And she's just one of those people. Except for her boyfriend, who's definitely gay. He doesn't like her that much.
Doesn't.
There's a murder.
I don't remember any of these characters.
I remember the chair. Oh yeah, there's a scene where a guy gets chopped up, but that'll come to play later. Yeah, and we see the sofa. Dude, the most confusing part of this movie is the logistics of where this chair is and where it goes. Because we see it here, and then it goes to this place, and then it goes to this place, and then it's like, I don't know these characters yet. I can't keep track of where this chair is moving. That part, was that just me? Or was that you guys too?
Yeah, no, it was confusing.
Like, what is going on? Like, I legitimately thought, like, we're jumping around in time. Like, this is a year ago, the chair was here, and then we're like, is there going to be some weird time? Like, no, it is not very clear where the chair is going.
Right.
I feel like I understood the movie more when I watched it on mute. I'm not gonna lie, because I feel like I checked out. I checked out of a lot of the dialogue scenes, and I kind of like just lost track of what was happening in the dialogue scenes.
I didn't watch it on mute, and I also checked out for some of that. Yeah, the chair gets delivered to the wrong house, which is the friend of the girl who it's supposed to go to, and the friend's grandpa is a former rabbi, and he touches the chair and gets all these weird flashbacks, and the chair is evil.
I also didn't understand the whole flashback sequences.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but yeah, a lot of this movie was lost on me, I think, but I did appreciate the sofa or the chair, and it's awesome like acting in this.
Everything made sense when the chair was killing people and being on screen.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at this shot. This is absolutely fucking genius. Like, I want to buy a chair and put it in my window just to have this looking out at people all the time. Like, it's amazing. But this is not the movie. Like, this is a few select scenes in the movie, and the rest is just kind of whatever.
I love the fact that the chair seems to be able to go indoors and out at will.
Yeah.
When it's wider than a door.
Yep.
You know, if you've ever had to move a recliner.
Not only that, they show how hard it is to get the chair in and out. Do you remember in the beginning of the movie, there's a scene where they're like struggling to get this chair up the stairs. So they is that on purpose? Yeah, like right here. Like, this chair, they took it apart, first of all. They took the fucking chair apart. So where's the body? Okay, there's is that one. Is he only in the top half? Fine, whatever, I'll give you that. But like, they took the chair apart, and then the chair now can go down the stairs and do all this crazy shit.
There needed to be a scene where she was running from the chair, and the chair was running after her.
Oh my
and then
God.
she ran into her like bedroom, and the chair got to the door and was just
right
and couldn't get through the doorway.
The little handle, like the little handle for the footstool, that's what blocks the door. It's like, no, you can't close the door. Yeah, see,
that would have been so great.
So many little things like this. Another thing that I really did not like, and it was so unnecessary, was this guy on YouTube that the grandfather was watching. He's like a dark, I don't even know what is he, a dark artist? He's like a magician or
he's a warlock, I think.
A warlock, thank you. That's the word. He's a warlock.
That's the guy that upset me and made me think, oh, I think the director actually likes this stuff, like this scene. Yeah. And when this guy should be a really funny, a really funny kind of grifter kind of guy. Instead, I think that guy was totally taken seriously.
They should have brought him in like what was the movie we watched? Oh, Lake Mungo. where there's like the guy who knows everything about the thing, and then they
Mm-hmm.
bring him in. Like it should have been like that. Like that guy.
Or like
I feel like he could have been funny. Bring that guy in, and
Right,
he's
like-
the one that's. We don't need these police officers, and
Right.
I mean, I love
Like,
Bob Gravy, but
Yeah, like a Zelda Rubinstein character from
Yes,
Poltergeist.
100%.
The lady comes in and clears the house, kind of thing.
yes,
Yeah.
100%. There's that face. Yeah, the boyfriend gets attacked, and then but he's fine for now. And then he got stabbed in both of his legs by the chair, and then the chair is on the second. He's on the second story, and then the chair. The logistics again is so silly, but whatever. The spring and it comes up and then finishes the job.
The chair's outside, tapping with its spring.
Yep.
I imagine like an Inspector Gadget kind of thing, like it extends or something. I don't know.
And so then we get this weird CGI sci-fi. I noticed the girl in the background. That's cool. It's a good touch.
Creepy.
But yeah, like the even this is doesn't make sense, because basically the story is there's someone is trapped in there's a dead guy in the chair, and the soul of another guy is in that dead guy, and then he's trying to transfer in here, but I guess it doesn't work, I think is what it's all very confusing.
I don't know. I know that eventually we see a dead guy in a chair.
Right.
At the end.
Pretty much.
I saw that dead guy in that chair, and I went, "Wait, did they explain this?"
Nope.
Just went right over my head.
There's a lot of like, oh, I'm scared. I don't know where to go. I don't want to stay here. There's a lot of running around. We see this creep who is the cousin.
Oh, this is the best scene in the movie.
Yeah, he's also obsessed with Francesca, and he's related to her friend, and he steals her like underwear and stuff.
And her floppy hat.
And he proceeds to hump it, I guess. And this is the one. Yeah, so he's in the bed, and then if you look at the door, you get the best fucking scene. There he is. This is the movie. This is what the whole movie should have been right here. It's so.
And he's going to town on this girl's floppy hat.
Yep.
So
been there, done that. You know what I mean?
It's bonkers.
Floppy hat?
It's bonkers. That's what the whole movie should have been. Exactly that.
And then there's more. These are the two police officers. These are the police officers who are investigating. Bob Gravy has also become infatuated with Francesca. Also, his name is Bob Gravy.
Yeah, Bob Gravy. Great name.
Robert Gravy. There's a weird subplot that is only, I think, introduced in this one scene, which is his wife left him and she wants to bang him. And then he says no, and that's it. That's it. That's it.
That's called character development.
Yeah. Speaking of character development, the friend is getting chased around by the sofa, and then she's like, okay, I need to get out because I'm gonna die. Understandable. And she's like, you know what? I'm gonna jump into a garbage can. I've seen it in movies before. Totally fine. So she jumps into the garbage can, and then the lid closes, and she's in there for the rest of the movie. She's not. Why is the lid closed?
No,
it doesn't make sense. She gets knocked out, and she's in there for the rest of the movie.
And she comes back at the end with a giant piece of glass in her forehead.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, did you just like? I'm convinced that when they were writing this, they were like, well, if she's here, then everything's gonna get solved because she'll just take her away. So we need to get rid of her, but we don't want to kill her. How about just have her jump in a garbage can? So stupid.
And then a giant piece of glass goes into her forehead, but not really.
And then the cop's like, "Are you okay?" there's a shard of glass 3 inches out of her head. They find the body of the creeper dude.
Yeah, Mia says they fucking search for her body. They find another one and just stops looking for her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like, okay. Very strange.
And then there's this weird part where is it implied that she's going to commit suicide? Is that what she's doing on this cliff?
I don't even remember this part.
I don't remember that at all.
She's there, and then she's like, I took it as she's going to jump. And then Grandpa calls her and is like, we need to talk. And then they go, and then they immediately go to talk. Like, it's such a weird little scene. Yeah, so the plan is they're gonna the plan is so great. They're gonna trap the chair in this in this fucking box. And I'm like, okay. So are they going to Christian left? He hated this movie so much he left. They're like so I thought, okay, it's gonna be the soul of the chair. And then it's not. Because later she takes the box and throws it at the chair, like, get in. Get out of here.
Oh, Valley Dollar says, but the diagram. Yes, he does draw a diagram of 2 boxes.
Yep, he does.
It's so dumb. Yeah.
Yeah, Gravy's working out with looking at a picture of Francesca. Okay.
Gravy.
Then we get I guess so stupid. Yeah, we meet this guy who was hired by the original stalker to cut off his legs and put him in the chair. And he's like, why? And he's like, who fucking cares why? That's what they're going with. So like, wait. There's a guy in the chair, and he's like, yeah, there's a guy in the chair. So then Francesca tries to is like, hey, yeah, she puts the box in front of him and says, get in the box.
A chair can't fit in the box.
No way. And then she douses herself in gasoline because
didn't get that.
Because Francesca is the female spirit from way back in the day, and then the dude in the dead body is the male, and they want to be together. So is that what it is? I don't know. Probably.
I missed that.
Why would she have been like, on the edge of a cliff if she was like, like she's kind of in on it, right? Like,
yeah,
especially with what's coming up.
Right. So she's like, I'm going to light everything on fire in my house. Great. And then the chair finally stands up, which is amazing.
Yes.
But didn't the guy have no legs in there?
Yep.
The chair stands up to full human height, Like, why did he get his legs cut off? I feel like that was a mistake on his part.
Bob Gravy comes in and shoots the chair a bunch. And then I don't think this is so there's a dude in there with a weird face and he gets shot in the head. And it's like, oh no.
I did like his face. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's surprisingly good effects compared to the chair, which is good for its own reason, but the chair looks, it's literally like somebody just said, what's something that I can make into a puppet with no actual dexterity? It's literally like if somebody just had a pillow and was doing this.
Right.
Yeah.
Are we going to let it go, Ben?
We'll let it go.
Okay. We usually don't say the P word on this show.
Oh, I was talking about the movie though.
I know, but it's like, Ben is a monster. We're going to let it go. We're going to let it go. But, we try not to say, usually it's an instant ban. So.
Okay. So it's just something that just doesn't exist in this universe.
Thank you.
Okay.
So the friend comes in with a giant shard of glass and the police officer trained to sworn and protect, says, "Are you okay?" No, motherfucker. I'm not okay. There's glass in my skull.
Right.
Then that's basically, this is the end of the movie, and everyone's like, oh, it's over. And I'm like, no, I can see the clock. There's still 10 minutes left of this movie. There's still something
it should
else.
have been over. It should have been over.
Bob Gravy is now back with Francesca's house, and he's like, oh, you decided to keep the chair. And she's like, now she's all dressed up, all nice, and she's like, yeah, I'm gonna keep it. And then we get back into the Dybbuk's with this guy, and it turns out that they can be stored in a dead body and whatever, and she poisons him, and he dies, and then the spirit is transferred into him out of the chair, even though the dead body's not in the chair anymore.
No, not anymore.
So that doesn't make sense, because was it in the body or was it in the chair? What the fuck?
Yeah, all of this made no sense to me.
Nope.
I kind of like the idea of there was a person in the chair.
100%.
And
that's what I wanted it to be.
If that person had a face, I feel like it would have been even better. Even though it was cool that the person had no face, I'm confused as to why the person had no face.
Exactly. Why did they have no face? Dude,
just imagine a dude in the chair.
Imagine at the end of this movie, like that scene, the chair stands up, or maybe it doesn't, but you see like a knife and a hand come out, and then a dude, like a skinny, gross dude, comes out, and he's all contorted, and he's been living in the back of the chair for a month, and he comes out and is like, "Hey, baby." What if that should have been the ending of the movie? That would have made everything like, dude, this is a top 10 movie for CAD. But no, they had to go back to this weird Dybbuk and this lore and all that stuff.
I mean, imagine if you found out, because like I have a huge couch, right? An actual sofa instead of a chair. Imagine if you found out that someone had been in your couch for a week, even. That would be horrifying.
Absolutely terrifying.
Yeah. So there's like a real horror movie that can be made out of this concept.
Yeah.
And the sofa's never actually moving and stuff. But
there was like, I think you could do both. For this, you could have the sofa moving around, and then you also can have it be a creepy guy who's living in there. I think you could do both. But he didn't do either. He just did this weird left turn.
It went full Child's Play, where there's a soul escaping and going into this other guy.
Yeah. And yeah, there's two endings, and the second one sucks. The ending
there's
of the movie,
three. There's three, even if you think about the fact that the girl's poisoning him first.
Yeah, so the girl poisons the dude, which you'd think would kill the body.
It's like, why did she need to poison him if the soul could just take him over?
Exactly. So now the girl and the dude are now whoever they are, whatever this couple is. I don't really understand it, but fine. Now they leave. The friend goes up to the house, sees the dead cop. The female cop went in. She's got murdered. She looks in the button and she sees the real Francesca falling away inside the button, trapped forever.
What the hell?
And that's it.
Until Killer Sofa 2.
Right, exactly.
Did you even mention the voodoo woman?
No, I didn't.
No.
Right?
Because she's fucking
And they're
useless.
talking about how she's going to be the star of Killer Sofa 2. So, like, you didn't even mention
Let's make a sequel
plot.
off the most boring part of the movie. Yeah, there's a Miss
Cleo.
Yeah, she's a Miss Cleo character. She's married or in a relationship to the grandfather, and they have a weird psychic thing going on. The fact that I didn't even mention her and didn't even think to mention her means how important she is to the story is stupid. So dumb.
But all the stuff with the sofa was hilarious.
Yeah,
exactly.
Excellent.
Exactly.
Excellent.
It's so conflicting.
It's so fucking conflicting. Sofa. Christian, you're gonna need to excuse us. We have to go we have to go rank this movie. So if you,
we're gonna rank it.
We'll be right back.
Hall of Rankings.
There it is. So every week we rank.
Thank you, Mia. Thank you,
rank
Zoltan.
all the movies that we watch, and these are our movies. There's a big old list. This is the main part, and then we have the garbage movies over here, and then we have a separate list for our Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Streets.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that this movie deserves to be this low.
No,
not at all.
No.
No. I do think, however, because of the fact that the whole lore and the story is so not only dumb but also quite boring. Like the everything around the sofa that's not the sofa is boring and confusing. So the only reason it's not this low is because the stuff with the sofa is so good.
Perfect.
Is so amazing. Yeah. So we got to give it credit for that. But I do think it's quite low. Like honestly,
I think it's above Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I think it's definitely better than Up It. No, it's not as good as Up It Master, but I don't think it's obviously better than Thanksgiving because Thanksgiving's a piece of shit movie.
Christian, you don't know anyone who made Thanksgiving, do you?
No, Christian left. He's out of here.
Oh.
I think he stepped away.
Okay.
Yeah, I do think so we'll put it at number 90.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. 90.
90.
All right, let's get out of here. Let's
go. Christian back? Christian, where'd you go?
He left.
Christian.
He didn't want. He's like, you know what? I don't want to be here anymore.
There's gonna be a sofa. That just.
Oh no.
Creeps into the frame.
I hope. God, I hope he pulls that off. That'd be amazing. There it is.
I'm back.
Hey.
I went to pee. I think you skipped the best part of the movie, though.
Oh no, what I miss?
You missed the sensual scene.
I did.
Can't show that on Twitch.
There is a scene.
Yeah, you can't.
Where it is a dream sequence where she is laying in the chair, and I believe she's wearing a red dress. There's a lot of red in this movie, and she basically, how do I say it? She fucks the chair.
Yeah, kind of.
Like the little hole where you pull the thing. She got her fingers in there.
Sakes.
Yeah.
Which, now that I think about it, I guess that was foreshadowing that she's like with the chair guy. She's with the demon chair guy.
Absolutely.
Right.
Maybe we should rank it higher.
I think we would rank it higher if we just watch it like 5 or 6 more times to really understand.
I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch it ever again. That having that drop right there in the window, that's all I want to see from this movie ever again. That being said, if they make a sequel, whatever it is, we'll watch it for the show. Christian,
I bet if they made a sequel, the sequel would actually be funny.
There it is. Christian, thank you so much for joining us today. We're gonna blast out your Twitch there.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I agreed to do Killer Sofa.
No, I enjoyed it. I'm glad we watched
I literally thought that it would. I knew it was New Zealand, and I knew those shots, and I said, "Oh, this movie is probably really funny," because I was thinking early Peter Jackson.
Oh, right? Yeah. We watched Bad Taste on here. We like that one.
Yeah, we like Bad Taste.
I was thinking that the dialogue was probably going to be that cheesy, corny stuff. Nope.
Not at all.
No.
Yes, Zoltan.
Watch this one on mute, people.
Yeah, watch it on mute. Zoltan says, "Go watch Psycho Gorman or be banished." We're not going to banish you if you don't watch Psycho Gorman, but you should watch Psycho Gorman.
I will.
You definitely should watch.
I have to go shoot some TikTok videos for a client. I got to go make some salmon.
Ooh, salmon.
Throw it
with,
on in the background. Throw it on in the background.
Don't be a dingus.
Exactly.
But I need my wife's hands because the client is the client's a woman, so I need to have my wife's hands make the food.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay.
But she's streaming.
She is streaming. We're gonna raid her. We're gonna raid her right now after this.
Oh, you can meet Heckles.
There you go. Oh, we're gonna see Heckles. It's exciting. Thank you for coming, Christian. You're welcome here anytime. Yes. Anytime you want to come hang out, you're welcome here.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
And there it is. One last potato for the road.
Honestly, the potatoes were not that aggravating today. I feel like chat was a little off their game. Yeah.
They're being nice. You're a big filmmaker. You're a big old filmmaker, and they're like, you know what? Let's be nice to the filmmaker. The real the person out there doing real shit. They're being nice, so I appreciate you.
I expected to get cut off a lot more, but maybe
watching.
next time.
Yeah, next time. Ben, thank you.
Yes. Wait, hold on. Should we tell them what we're watching next week?
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah. Next week we're watching Hack-O-Lantern. The power is in the blood.
Hack-O-Lantern. Yeah.
Look at that face.
Yeah. Joshua. It's where all the power is in the blood.
Love the poster.
Scary. Yeah. I've seen this before. Joe Bob did it on his show. I think it's good. Yeah.
It's gonna be something.
Yes. Ooh.
Everyone go watch Christian's movies.
Yes.
It's so loud.
Whoa.
It's so loud.
It's decidedly louder than anything else.
The battery is on Tubi, and I believe it's on Tubi, and After Midnight's on Shudder, and you can rent them everywhere. Go watch them both; they're amazing. Christian, I love you.
And Psycho Gorman is on Shudder as well.
Yeah, don't
worry. It is.
And everyone knows about Psycho Gorman. If you don't watch Psycho Gorman, you can't hang out with us.
You think I'm on Shudder? You think they give me a free subscription, right? And then I can go watch Psycho Gorman anytime I want.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
I've had it off and on. I just haven't had it recently.
There's Tube Man. He's from Psycho Gorman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love you guys.
I love you. Don't be a dingus, guys out there. Don't be a dingus.
Everyone follow Starfold. No, remind me next stream. Cyrus, remind me next stream. God damn it.
Bye.